The planet of Naboo was home to many important political and regal families, but the previously little known Naberrie family soon became the face of the planet. Padme Naberrie was an extremely gifted political leader, basing her reign as queen on trying to form allies with other factions and worlds, but forming allies also made her more enemies. The Trade Federation led by Nute Gunray had been proposing for taxation on shipping and trading routes, and as Amidala was an opponent, the Neimoidian decided to force her hand by blockading Naboo with battleships. The conflict of interest would change the life of the Queen, as during her attempted escape of the blockade, alongside the Jedi of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, her starship had suffered damage to its hyperdrive, and they required an emergency landing on Tatooine. Using her disguise as Padme, she joined Qui-Gon, R2-D2 and the Gungan Jar Jar Binks in looking for parts to their ship when the Jedi Master encounters a convergence in the Force. The protagonist of the prophecy of the Chosen One was the young slave Anakin Skywalker, and he took an immediate interest in Padme, which would lead to both of their downfalls, as Anakin failed to contain his conflict between Padme and the Jedi Order. But what if Padme had been the Chosen One instead of Anakin? Would the Jedi believe Qui-Gon? Would Palpatine still have pursued the training of Anakin? As you're going to realise, the change in identity of the Chosen One could have led to a whole new set of events. Jedi Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi looked curiously at his master as they approached the planet of Tatooine, sensing he was in great thought. The Jedi Master asked Obi-Wan to remain on the ship as he went into Mos Espa, and the presence grew closer and closer. Entering into the workshop of the Toydarian dealer Watto, he saw the young slave Anakin Skywalker, and after spending time around him, the Jedi Master saw the interactions between the slave and Padme, and realised that she held the key to containing the fear within the boy, thus being the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. After Anakin had won the pod race, gaining the parts they needed to repair the hyperdrive, and Qui-Gon had fought off Maul, the group arrive on Coruscant, where the Jedi Master hurries to the Council Tower. Surrounded by skeptical council members, Qui-Gon reveals that Maul was a Sith Lord, and that they had found a powerful Force sensitive in Anakin Skywalker. Before him to be trained, he requested to change the Jedi code to accommodate Padme. The Jedi dismissed the Master from their chamber to deliberate their decision, as Master Windu is violently opposed to the notion, supported by most of the other Jedi. In a startling move, Qui-Gon announced his departure from the Jedi Order, following in the footsteps of his old master, and before the Jedi could take Anakin to be trained, Qui-Gon had taken him to the safety of Padme's apartment on Coruscant. Obi-Wan is also left stunned by the departure of his master, but maintaining his loyalty to the Jedi, he is surprised to be summoned to the quarters of Jedi Grandmaster Yoda. The wise Jedi orders Obi-Wan that he must learn to let go of Qui-Gon, and focus on assisting Queen Amidala on a return to Naboo, before revealing that he would be responsible for completing Obi-Wan's training. Without Qui-Gon, the Jedi dispatched Master Windu to join the Padawan on a trip to Naboo, and aided by the Gungans, they planned a takeover of Naboo to end the Trade Federation's blockade. Whilst the Gungans battled the droid army, the Jedi and the Queen entered into the royal palace, and there Windu encounters the dark side being that Qui-Gon had warned them about. The reputation of the lightsaber abilities of Windu was not merely conjecture, as he channeled the dark side of Maul into his own power, and ably aided by Obi-Wan. The Karoo Master coldly decapitated the Zabrak, leaving him for dead in the maze of power generators. The Jedi had no time to celebrate, as they received a desperate plea for help from General Jar Jar Binks, with the Gungans struggling on the plains. The Jedi rush over to assist them, and upon their arrival, the Gungans were being overwhelmed by the battle droids. Without the destruction of the droid control ship, Windu has to tackle them on the ground, and as Obi-Wan and the remaining Gungans guarded him, he enhanced his speed, then let out a force wave that sent a ripple across the grass that managed to top all of the droids in the vicinity. As the Neimoidians were placed in the custody of the Republic, Palpatine was displeased with the events on Naboo, but he was more interested in what had happened to Qui-Gon and Anakin Skywalker. His recently deceased master Plagueis had warned him about the Maverick Jedi Master, and he had to find the powerful Force sensitive before he destroyed them all. From his secret spies and security cameras scattered over the galactic city, he had discovered that Anakin had not left Coruscant, and leaving his suite, he entered into the building's turbolift and found himself in another unknown senatorial apartment, but inside were a group of Republic senators and Anakin Skywalker. The senators about to approach Anakin when Qui-Gon stepped in front of him and blocked his path angering the Sith Lord, and he knew it would be difficult to make Anakin his apprentice. Entering into his shuttle, Palpatine asks for the pilot to direct the craft for the planet of Sereno, where Jedi Master Dooku had recently taken residence. The Sith had engaged in previous meetings with the former Jedi, and now he revealed himself to be the Sith Lord. Dooku accepted the offer to become his apprentice, as he planned to prove Plagueis that he had been wrong about Anakin. That is it for part 1 of What If Padme Was the Real Chosen One. If you'd like to see a part 2 soon, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.